everybody, it's Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. If you want to have a priceless experience, then you'll stay tuned to Mega Powers Radio. And remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Shut up.
What's shaking, Mega Maniacs? It's Monday, March 23rd. Welcome to the Mega Powers Radio Raw Post Show, the most interactive post-Raw experience available. We want to hear all of what y'all out there got to say. We'll tell you how to do that in just a moment, but we're going to get things started here with our panelists, and I should introduce who we are here. My name is Mike Paden, Station Director here at Mega Powers Radio, and a pretty damn good move. It's the last Raw before WrestleMania, guys. Let's see how you guys are feeling about it. First off is Mr. Stephen Wago, host of Addicted to Anime, Wago Rants, Unanimous Decision MMA. Wago, where are you sitting right now?
It was a good show, but it was not a good go-home show for what is meant to be the biggest show of the year. Mm-hmm. Can we go off abruptly and awkwardly like they did tonight?
Don't we always?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Also with us is the leader of the Drew crew, Mr. Drew White. What's shaking, Drew? Or he's just going to fucking be silent. All right. Also making a rare appearance here on the Raw Post Show, Mr. Shaun Walker. What's up, Shaun?
Not a lot. Not a lot
Indeed, right?
Quite a bit.
Pretty much.
How about, I didn't ask you for your opinion about the WrestleMania build yet, but I have a feeling it's the same answer.
Fucking, I just
Not
realized
a
my
lot.
mic was muted. So.
Oh, thank you for talking over Sean when I was asking him a
welcome.
question about what he thought
No
about WrestleMania,
problem.
Drew.
You already knew the answer, so why'd you ask it?
Because he's being polite, you moron.
Because he's the lead host, and that's what the lead host does. That's why Tony won't let you host Smack Talk.
Mhm.
That is true.
The amateur hour.
And as he was already said, the host of Smack Talk, Mr. Tony Mango. What's shaking, Tony?
Not too much. My mic is not muted.
All right, thank you very much. All right, folks. As I said, this is the most interactive post-Raw experience available. We want to hear what you out there got to say. Let us know. Many ways to get involved. We already got the chat room open on Blog Talk Radio. Shout outs to the people who got here early. By God, Bryan the Brain Show, Ferris419, Chaotic, Wazili, and Silent Wind of Doom. Thank you all here for getting early. As always, I see a few guests sitting there. If you are a guest listening to us live, you should head to blogtalkradio.com. Get yourself registered with them so you can join the chat room at the bottom of the broadcast page and hang out with all those folks there. But hey, if text is not enough for you and you want to get your voice actually heard on the radio, this is true, you could do this. Dial area code 760-512-7247 and you will be connected right to us here at Mega Powers Radio Studios and be heard live on the Raw Post Show on Mega Powers Radio.
Just don't do impressions.
Yeah, please. You can also join us via Skype if you prefer. There's a Skype icon at the top of the broadcast page. We also are accepting tweets. You could tweet to us at Raw Post Show, and we'll be pulling in a few from there as well. In the meantime, I like to get things started for us here by asking you guys if you took away one thing from the show tonight, and I think on any other night, or more than any other night, this is such an important question to know. What's the number one thing we took away? So let me start off with the person I think we might get the most interesting answer from here. Tony, what's the number one thing you took away?
Cynical answer.
Chicken fries are back at Burger King.
That was the most interesting answer.
I think we just found out what his high point was.
Actually, that wasn't, but it could have been. Because holy shit, that was the only thing that made me like super excited for this whole episode. There were a couple good things, a couple bad things, and whatever, but there was a lot of blah. And you know, if they got to that point, at that 3 hour, 2.5 hour mark, whatever the hell this was, and I tuned out. Like, this Raw was just not what it should have been. And that kind of made me turn around and I was just like, wait, what? What are they doing right now? He's just got the Burger King thing out there? All right, now I'll pay attention. That shouldn't happen on the go-home show to WrestleMania. That shouldn't happen on the go-home show to fucking Battleground. let alone WrestleMania.
Yeah. Wago, where did you sit on this? What's the number one thing you took away tonight?
It's difficult. I've got a few things. I guess I'll go with the fact that the main event of WrestleMania is something I should care about, and I don't. Paul Heyman was on fire, but that's to be expected by now. Hats off to him for doing a great job selling this pay-per-view, but why would you end Raw that way? I mean, Paden was advocating for them not coming to blows and fighting. And if this is the if this is the other option, I wish they would have just fucking brawled all over the arena.
No, listen, if the only options were between this and brawling, yes, I would agree. This is not how I would have booked this if I had the choice of making them not touch. A lot better ways you could have done this. Did Roman Reigns even say a word? Did I just miss it, or did it,
No, I think he just dripped sweat and tried to take the title.
I don't think that was sweat. I think he just got all wet, because he bathes in a pool of water before.
I think Mark Henry hugged him backstage.
That explains.
Oh, then again, Rhino's back in WWE. Maybe he brushed up against him.
Shaun, what did you think of the show tonight? What's the number one thing you took away?
Number one thing I took away: all 4 divas that are involved in that tag match has got great asses. There you go. That's what I took away from the show. This show was fucking bland, man. This build to this WrestleMania has just been. There's been nothing to it. Bray Wyatt's been talking to himself. Fucking Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman. What have they been doing for the past couple of weeks? Paul Heyman's been talking to himself and/or Roman Reigns.
Paul Heyman's been stealing the show. That's what he's been doing.
The only thing that's been interesting is the fucking IC title. Fucking John Cena is gonna win fucking Rusev and be the United States Championship because all that fuck up that happened this afternoon. It's bullshit. Entertain me. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's their fucking job, so they don't entertain me. Christ, I spent more entertaining shits than I've had watching Raw recently.
Fucking hell, you have.
Fucking A, I have.
Fucking hell, I dropped a right dump. It was so much better than this bollocks. Fucking hell.
Especially when it's the shit that hangs from your ass and you got to wiggle it to make it drop. That's been more entertaining than Raw.
At least it's kind of like a game. Oh,
yeah, it's called Do You Need the Wipes or Not?
Indeed. Drew, number one thing you took away tonight?
I actually enjoyed Raw a lot this episode, but the thing is, if this was any other go-home show to any other pay-per-view, I think it would have done an exceptional job. But since this was WrestleMania, and they've just done a not-so-good job when it comes to the build to WrestleMania, and this one, they did a lot better when it came to building, I guess, towards Mania than the past few weeks, but still wasn't on par with past Manias, and it's kind of a shame if you really think about it. I think they mentioned the network and subscribing to that more tonight as well than other nights, like really phoning that in, so people might just buy it even though it sucks. So I don't know. I really enjoyed Raw, but it was just a not so good go home show compared to others.
It's an odd time when this is how you're building your WrestleMania show, where the final thing that we go off the air is 2 grown men that are supposed to be muscular badasses are pulling back and forth on something like it's a doll on an elementary school playground.
Some WCW production right there.
I was half expecting the title to rip in half. And
I kind of thought so too.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna rip it in half, and they both were gonna come out with a half a title at Mania, and then whoever wins, and then the next night they debut a new title.
I kind of thought that they would have been ripping them in half, and then they would have just looked down and been like, shit. And then that's how it would have been.
And they both would have awkwardly backed up like Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
You did it.
So I'm not re-signing with this company.
Okay. Well, I had a thing I wanted to talk about. We already spent a significant deal on last week's show, going in depth, talking about this build in general to Mania and comparing it to last week's. And I don't think there's too much to add based on what's gone down this week. So I actually have another topic of debate that I wanted to introduce to start the show off here after our beginning pleasantries. This build to Mania admittedly has been lackluster. But I really don't think it's as bad as a lot of people are making it out to be. And I think that was a conclusion that we came at last week's show. I think there are a lot of positives to be taken in this. In the end, I don't think this is going to be a terrible WrestleMania because of it. It may still be a bad WrestleMania, but that's going to be on the show itself. I think the show has done a good enough job to build a big event. Maybe not as big as some other ones, because, you know, we're used to what they just went all out last year for WrestleMania 30, which they absolutely tried to make the biggest show they ever could. Does WrestleMania every year always need to be this huge, at spare no expense improvement over the previous year? Or maybe sometimes they do need to dial it back, and they can still put on a good show, and maybe they're not doing a 5-star one, but if they could still pull out a 3.75 star one, it's still a happy show and good times. Like, is that a situation that we could be seeing here? And the big thing I wanted to bring into it is a lot of this negativity surrounding this build on the fans. Are they encouraging this negativity and saying too much is bad and not accentuating the things that are good that are happening, or maybe being too biased and automatically assuming everything is going to suck? Is that playing a lot into this? Because fans have certainly got much more negative, much more cynical as we've gotten into the smart age of where more people are reading dirt sheets and more people are privy to things than they ever were before.
Yeah, the internet kind of ruined this build.
Here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. You want 30 to be kind of a bigger deal than most of your Manias, and kind of like how 20 was. But I don't think there's ever an excuse not to strive for a better product. Every year you should be trying to outdo yourself, because if you're trying to outdo yourself each year, then you're probably going to get a better product. As far as the crowd goes, and are we partially to blame? Yes, there's some of that, and part of it's WWE's fault. A lot of people want to argue that sometimes WWE knows what's best for us, but at the same time, the fans, if you've got your audience has grown, meaning you've got to grow with them, and I don't think WWE's done that.
I see. So you think that they're not adapting enough to this dirt sheet period?
Yeah, because each year it grows stronger and stronger, and let's face it, they adapted to it last year when they realized, oh shit, we really fucked up. We'll push Daniel Bryan, and we had an awesome WrestleMania moment. Now Daniel Bryan got injured, and that's on him, and I can understand why they've devalued him. Don't agree with how much they've devalued him, but
we'll get to that a little later.
But yeah, so I just think the fans, they just need to adapt with the fans.
Any other thoughts on this topic?
I see no reason why WWE shouldn't try to make every year better than the next one. And if they purposely go into it thinking that they're going to dial it back, then they're going to dial it back too much. If you value something, you value it 100%. If you devalue something, you devalue it 100%. And it kind of depends on your subconscious more than your conscious booking decisions. Like, if I am going to make, say, you know, a typical blog post, if I know it's going to get a lot of hits, I'm going to try to make sure that it has a lot of really good content in it. If it's a throwaway one that I'm like, well, you know what? I don't really care. I'm just going to get it out there for the sake of getting it out there. I'm going to do a rush job, and it's going to suck. Now, if WWE has that mentality going into WrestleMania, then we're going to run into that same situation where we've been joking for the past couple of weeks, where it seems like every even WrestleMania is good and every odd one is bad. Yeah, you do kind of have to go down to go up every once in a while, but that shouldn't be a conscious effort. That should be something where it just happens. Like, if you look at it in the situation with movie sequels and stuff, no movie sequel by definition has to go, well, we destroyed a city in the last movie, so now we have to destroy a state. That doesn't make it a good movie, but if you write the movie and go, well, we destroyed a city in the last one, we have to destroy a state, that's going to pigeonhole you. And if you go into it saying, well, we destroyed a city, but we can't destroy a state because we need to do that in the third one, let's just, you know, have one house get destroyed, people are going to be disappointed. I think if WWE caters to the fans, that's a bad thing. But I think that the fans do get to dictate a lot of what's happening. And
now, should
some
they
of
feel
them
that
are.
way? Is that an entitled feeling that maybe people have gotten too much because of them? I mean, let's go back to the days where wrestling wasn't fake and people looked into this. Well, it was fake, but people didn't look at it as fake. People still believed in kayfabe. This was a competition between two guys, and you went because, yeah, you wanted someone to win, but sometimes you got it and sometimes you didn't. It's like any other sports scenario. Why should wrestling be so much different where it should go by what the fans want always? Because at what point do you submit too far and then it's like you have to do everything the fans want?
Right. I don't think it should always submit to the fans. I think that the fans and WWE both need to work together on something. Like, if WWE is saying, we do not want this to happen, and I'm pro Roman Reigns, so let me throw that out there.
Mm-hmm.
I still have not wavered on that. I still want Roman Reigns to win the title. But if it gets to a point where, you've got months to build WrestleMania, Survivor Series time, Roman Reigns wasn't getting the best reaction.
Mm-hmm.
They had more than enough time to figure out a way to get around that. And if WWE doesn't listen to the fans, that's going to be a problem. If the fans don't listen to WWE, that's going to be a problem. And then you've
Can
just
I
got
chime
two
in with
situations. Go ahead.
You know how you bring up a really good point that the fans and the WWE need to work together on some things. On occasion, the fans will get behind someone, the WWE will go, all right, we'll push this guy. We'll push Dolph Ziggler, for example. Then the fans turn on him.
Mm-hmm.
That type of shit is where the WWE needs to go, fuck you guys, we're going to push him anyway.
Right. That's where WWE needs balls, too, because they can't back down on anything. Like, if the fans are really supportive of somebody and then the fans kind of taper off, WWE goes, no. You fucking said you wanted this guy. Stick out with it for an extra couple of months and, give us a reason to, trust your opinion. Because if you keep flip-flopping, then we're never going to listen to you.
Exactly, because even Roman Reigns is a guy that we were behind. Everyone was behind during the Shield.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just shit on it, so...
And I remember
anyway.
Post WrestleMania 30, after Bryan got the titles, when you already saw people starting to turn on him and starting to become Cesaro fans.
And then people immediately started turning on Cesaro once he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, too, because then it was like, oh, well, now what? Is he going to win, fucking Money in the Bank and become the next champion and beat Daniel Bryan? What the hell?
God, are we going to get what we wanted? It's like that fucking Simpsons thing where he's got the Daniel Bryan... Have you seen the meme? He's got the Daniel Bryan shirt, goes into the bush, comes back out, he's got a Cesaro shirt.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's a weird situation, but when you mean as far as the negativity for this WrestleMania goes, I know that you guys are in kind of the same boat as I am, where I try to not let what the other people are cheering for influence my opinion. Like, I don't give a shit if everybody at the Royal Rumble didn't want Roman Reigns to win. You and I were cheering for Roman Reigns. Like, I was happy with him winning that. The match could have been better, but it was good. No fucking Bray Wyatt won or something like that. My negativity to WrestleMania this year has been purely just me in my own little bubble going, this is not what I want.
Mm-hmm. Going by what fans want, by God, put an interesting comment in the chat here I want to read. It's, I want this to be the equivalent of the Empire Strikes Back for WrestleManias, where the fans don't get all the feel-good moments that they're hoping for. Could they do something like that? Like, Wago has gone on record before as saying that what WrestleMania should be and always should be is the good guy winning at the end of a story. Could they take that route for this? I mean, I kind of feel like that's what they did with what was it, 28, where The Rock beat Cena. I think they had a couple other ones like that on there too.
You can do it.
It was at 28. It was fine because I think they were trying to appeal more to that live crowd than a whole picture of fans, anyways, who were tuning into that.
You want a negative ending? You can do that. But the last time they did a negative ending at a WrestleMania, it ended up with the collapse of the business because of Stone Cold going heel. So I'm just saying.
You know what would be pretty funny, though? If they were just like, fuck you all. Undertaker loses. Sting loses. Cena loses. The winner of the fucking Intercontinental match is Luke Harper.
No, worse.
It's the least amount of attention.
Hold on. And I got to say something first off to what Wago just said there. The business did not collapse right after WrestleMania 17. I mean, if you go back and you watch WrestleMania 18, it's still hot and it's still huge. There's nothing wrong with the business at that point. It was the
It
failed
significantly
follow.
dropped.
Not even by that point. It wasn't until like 2004 that they really had a drop off. Like they were still going strong because Rock and Austin were still there.
Even Austin said on Gun record that's when it all started falling apart.
Well, Austin doesn't know everything. His fucking podcast sucks.
That was his own career.
Probably not if he was fucking drugged up for most of it.
I know his ex-wife doesn't remember it.
Yeah, well.
That's fucking
but
cruel.
going back to the comment of by God here, I think that's something that I actually have subadvertently been going for here. I mean, I want Rusev to beat Cena. I want Brock Lesnar to actually beat Roman Reigns.
And actually still show up on the next day.
Yeah,
yes, we all do.
I want Stardust to win the ladder match. I guess I want the Undertaker to beat Bray Wyatt. I guess that's in line.
Squash match. Bray Wyatt beats him in like 3 seconds or less.
That would be fucking terrible. But I know what you're getting at.
He just rolls the urn and he slips over it.
No, I know what you're getting at, and I wish that they would book it more that way, where like a lot of the storylines that they go for at least for Mania the past few years is either the babyface getting a redemption or like the babyface has overcome something and they always end up doing.
Well,
Not every
that's
story
wrestling in general.
I know, but that's the thing. To me, it shouldn't always be at Mania. Sometimes it makes sense for it to continue towards the next month, and then you'll have Tony complaining that it didn't end at Mania for the most part. I'm fine with the heel winning at Mania. It just never happens nowadays. At least when it comes to the main event and stuff like that. If Brock Lesnar wins at Mania, I will be the happiest guy ever because I want him to win at Mania just for the sole purpose. I don't want to see him go at this point. I'd rather him stay in WWE because he's a good asset that the WWE has. Like a lot of the matches, I want the heels to win, but I know that they won't. That we know Rusev won't win now. But I personally would like to see something along the lines of The Empire Strikes Back because I think sometimes it makes sense to do it, especially at a Mania.
Yeah, because
Let me adjust my. Sorry, go on.
Well, just one thing I want to say. A lot of people will make the defense Roman Reigns isn't ready. So what if he loses this year? He spends this year rebuilding himself, getting himself ready, and then WrestleMania 32, he's back there, and that's when he's ready.
A risk.
It is a risk. It is absolutely a risk.
And it could be a good risk. It could be a bad risk if he turns out he never recovers from it. To me personally, they just find someone else up. Yeah, he's not the guy. Because some people, I think Triple H and like I had said on record that if he wasn't the guy then, and like he goes on, and he's still not the guy, then you just reshuffle the package essentially. So you just got to figure out who the guy is. If he doesn't, and if it turns out he's not the guy, they'll find someone else. They have a lot of guys in NXT who could easily step up. They have other talent on the main roster who I personally believe that they could be the next guy going forward.
I'll just say anyone on the main roster who's going in there is just keeping that spot warm for the 5 guys down in NXT that are going to be coming up soon.
No, yeah, exactly. And then, and which 5 guys are you talking about? That is the question. Last time I checked, the last few NXT guys that came up just got fucking screwed over big time.
Yeah,
they were nobodies.
Yeah, you can't compare a freaking Adam Rose to Adrian Neville.
No, I'm talking more about the Ascension.
Well,
they were nobodies too.
Yeah, I mean.
And I just wanted to adjust my statement before. I know I said it should always be a happy ending at WrestleMania. Really, the more accurate statement is the fans should go home happy at WrestleMania. And if the fans don't want Roman Reigns, give him Brock Lesnar.
Give him Seth Rollins.
Now, let's just be clear. If Brock Lesnar wins at WrestleMania, it doesn't mean he's staying.
I know.
Very easily lose at the next night on Raw or Extreme Rules or, who knows? Who knows what could happen?
Or it could no-show and actually unify with the UFC Championship.
That would be fucking awesome. I'm going to pull a couple tweets out here from our good buddy Dane Quinn again. First off, he followed up. We were talking about WrestleMania 17. He said, X7 was great, but it marked the end of the Monday Night Wars, which is a good point. I think that had a lot more influence on the wrestling business going down than just WrestleMania 17 with that ending. Was the fact that there was no WCW anymore.
Fair statement, fair argument.
We could talk about WrestleMania 17 on another day because that's, in my opinion, one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. And there's so much
Keeping Kayfabe.
Yep. Dane Quinn also tweets at Raw post-show, is there any chance Rusev defeats Cena?
Nope.
I'm not going to say 0, But as much as a proponent of Rusev as I am, I would say it's like 10% at this point.
Yeah, it's so fucking small.
Where I stand on this whole Rusev versus John Cena thing is, I think that the one report that I read is actually true. They're trying to elevate both the IC and the US title. So John Cena and Daniel Bryan don't seem so irrelevant when Roman Reigns is in the main title picture. So, as far as Rusev winning, I think he's got 10% chance. They might just decide to swerve us and actually go ahead and go full steam with this guy so Reigns has an opponent. But they also might be taking the belt off him so that he doesn't have to suspend the title whilst fighting Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and take on our first caller of the evening a little bit later than usual. We're just again reminding everyone out there, if you want to join the show, get your voice heard here on the Raw Post Show on Mega Powers Radio, dial in using your cell phone or landline, whichever you prefer. Area code 760-512-7247 is the number you want to dial on there. You can also join us via Skype, hitting the Skype icon at the top of the broadcast page. And of course, the chat room, scrolling nicely on blogtalkradio.com. Just search for Mega Powers Radio on there if you're listening to us elsewhere. So let's bring on our first caller. They are from the 646 area code, if I recall correctly. This is our friend Aisha. Is that you?
Yeah, it's me here. What's up, guys?
I think I'm finally learning these numbers here. Absolutely tremendous, Aisha. The night, last Raw leading to WrestleMania. How you feeling?
Not that excited.
And I can't blame you.
Yeah, it's hard to say that because I want to be excited for WrestleMania, but honestly, this is like one of the worst build-ups I've seen in years.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been watching, Aisha?
WWE?
Yeah.
Like since 07.
It's like 07. So what was 07? That was 26? 23. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So you've seen some good WrestleManias then. You saw 24, you saw 30, You've seen a lot of good WrestleManias. So
26 was good.
This is not shaping up to be a lot of those, but we talked last week, we compared it a lot to 29, which was horrendous build, horrendous pay-per-view, and in the end, I think it's at least got potential to be a heck of a lot better than that. So is this all bad, or are you seeing positives there too?
I mean, like, there's matches on the card that have the potential to be great, but it's just that, again, you have to, like, apply the build in order to, like, it to be great. So, but, like, I don't know, it's just...
It's really awkward.
Bad because the main event...
Nobody looks strong going into this. Go ahead.
Yeah, the main event is awful.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Even the Intercontinental title reached a mess tonight. Like, nobody looked good coming out of that segment.
It's a bunch of losers.
Mm-hmm.
What? It's ridiculous. This is your, like I said, it's like, this is your show. Like, you're supposed to build up, like, this is like the awards, and like really, you're gonna be lazy and not like putting the effort. It's just sad. Like, what is Vince doing back there? Like, and like, what happened? Like minutes ago, it's like, what the hell was that? That ending.
Mm-hmm. I honestly could not believe they just went off the air. Like, I barely saw the little Raw logo in the corner of the screen. I was like, I didn't just see that. They still got a little more time. They're going here. And then it faded away. I'm like, wait, are we going to commercial? What's going on here?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I'm like, what? So this is our main event. Like, honestly, that made me not be excited for the main event. Like, honestly. Like, Roman Reigns, like as much I like Roman Reigns, but after that, I just, like, I don't know if I can, like, I don't know. It's like
I was excited for this, and they made me less excited, which is sad. And you know what made it even worse is just the awkward silence from the announcers as it was going down.
Yep. And see your main event, and you're gonna treat it like that. It just completely just invalidates that they don't have faith in this guy, and the only way to, like, turn this out to make the main event good is to have Rollins cash in and then start off whatever. But
how about them Divas?
Hey, they had a good match. appreciate them getting time, and I'm actually think they'll put on a good match at Mania. I'm just sad it's not for the title, but
Well, there's some positivity.
it should be good.
Now, they obviously built a lot of tension tonight between AJ and Paige. How do you think that's going to play into the match?
Yeah. What is it like? How many times has it been feuding? Like, what is this? Like 4, 6?
Yeah, something like that in a year. Yeah.
Well, I know next week a certain someone should be debuting. So.
Are you speaking of the Woo girl?
Yeah.
You had to think about how I was referencing that for a second. I'm with you on that. If Charlotte does not make an appearance on the night after WrestleMania, I'll be highly disappointed. It's time. She's ready. She's got to come up and shake this whole Divas division up, and she will certainly shake it up. And if that's the case, then anything that happens before then is 100% irrelevant. Like, I hope they go out there. I hope they have a fun, entertaining match and can put on a good part of the show. But in my opinion, it has no relevance to what's going on the night after and going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like, for the Raw after Mania, I think there's going to be a lot of NXT debuts. Isn't there doing a tournament to have one of the guys being the Battle Royal?
Yes, they were having I think it was just a 4-man tournament. I believe it was Adrian Neville, Tyler Breeze, Hideo Itami, and Finn Balor were going through a 4-man tournament.
Oh, yeah, that's just...
And one of them is going to be in the Andre the Giant
be in that match.
Battle Royal. Yeah, I worry because if they're putting him in there, I feel like they have to win. And if they don't win, they're going to look like a jabroni. It's going to be Bo Dallas all over again. They come out. And if that's the case, then it has to be Tyler Breeze. That's my opinion on that situation. It has to be Tyler Breeze because you can make him look like a jabroni and it's okay. He can bounce back from it. But if you do that with Adrian Neville, if you do that with Finn Balor especially, you're going to kill him. But if they go in and win, really awesome. You know what, actually, I don't know if I want to get into this theory now. I think we'll wait until we get to that segment there. But Aisha, before we let you go, let me get your high point and low point for tonight's Raw.
High points, definitely seeing Sting kick up the show. Definitely, I'm actually excited for that match. Because, like I said, Triple H is my guy. And low point, the ending. And it's sad to have to say that.
I can't blame you. It's embarrassing. It really is. Like, if I had friends with me and we were watching that and that's what I explained to them is how you're getting us excited for the most important match of the year, I would be embarrassed. Absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah.
All right, Aisha.
Yeah, like the only, like, well, I feel.
Go ahead, finish up.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Roman Reigns. Like, the only way they can do it, they got to turn him heel or something like that because I'm going to be looking at them very closely. Like, that reaction, like, I'm just going to look at it closely and be like, this Sunday is going to be a crazy night.
It certainly is. Aisha, I think I asked you last week. I think you said you're going to be watching Mania alone. Is that still how it's going down?
Oh, no, actually, I got my sister and my grandma.
Yes, there you go. Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's super awesome.
Well, they don't know.
Yeah, grandmas.
Yeah, I love watching wrestling with grandmas.
I do know stuff about wrestling. I do know some things. I watched it a few times.
Awesome.
Sorry, that was my sister in the background.
Nice. Well, make sure you get some awesome. Make sure you get some awesome WrestleMania finger foods and. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Aisha.
Sorry, that's my sister in the background.
You guys all enjoy the show. We'll certainly talk to you on the other side. Hope it's as awesome as we all want it to be, although our standards are low, I guess. But we'll talk to you on the other side, Aisha. You have a good WrestleMania weekend.
Hey, you too, guys.
All right, our first caller on the Raw Post Show on Mega Powers Radio won't be our last. If you want to get your voice heard, dial in area code 760-512-7247. Get yourself in line to be heard in the most interactive post-Raw experience available. You can also join us in the chat room, tweet to us at Raw Post Show, and I want to pull another tweet out from our friend Dane Quinn at Raw Post Show. WrestleMania play button feels like a really good SummerSlam card. Yeah.
That's pretty much true.
There you go with that. I want to follow up off Aisha. I think we're just going to like analyze what they did for each match here. And we were talking about the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Really awkwardly built match. There's a couple small little things going on, like between Big Show and Kane. And perhaps the most notable is Damian Sandow and Miz, who have been, what did they do tonight? They had like an interview with Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart about that new Kevin Hart, or Get Hard movie that they had. It was actually kind of a fun interview where Miz was talking about, don't you hate when stunt doubles try to rise above you and take the spotlight? And they're like, no, that never happens. Stunt doubles are there to help you. What are you talking about? I actually thought it was a fun when Miz is like, get me some water, and Will Ferrell's like, oh, I'll get it. That was good. Besides that, there's not really much going into this battle royal. What are your guys' thoughts on this right now?
You know what was weird? The last year's fucking battle royal that they did last year as well. I don't remember the build too much for that one as well. I mean, Cesaro winning was out of left field kind of a thing. So I don't know if they plan on doing something along the lines this year again, where the unexpected will end up winning. Because I think Shaun predicted Cesaro was going to win, which I thought was crazy at the time. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Maybe Shaun knows more than us when it comes to that. But Cesaro was like really weird. I didn't really expect that to happen at all, personally. So when it comes to the battle royal, I really don't remember too much when it comes to the build, other than, like you said, the Miz and Miz losing to Ryback each week.
Have you guys noticed that they haven't aired a Sheamus promo in like 2-3 weeks?
No, they do it on SmackDown. No, I thought they did last week, actually.
On Raw, they haven't.
They did it. I think they did it on Raw last week.
Well, they didn't do it tonight. And I don't think they did it last week. I might be wrong, but I know for sure they didn't do it tonight.
Well, because they want him to come out and be like, oh my God, Sheamus is at WrestleMania? He's the one that's going to win this battle royal that we put no effort into? Holy shit.
Really, it's like kind of like what Tony said. They really didn't put that much effort into it. At least it doesn't feel like they did. So if they're not going to put that much effort into it, then there's not really much to think about it, because there's not much really going into it.
Yet another reason not to have this match. I'm saying it. It's a stupid match to have at WrestleMania. And if they're going to put such little effort into it, then it's even more of a reason not to have it.
Especially when it's too close to the Rumble, too.
But on the other, do you have to put that much effort into a Battle Royal build? It's just a Battle Royal.
No, but look at how much response people are getting to Damian Mizdow and The Miz. If people care that much about the two of them, and that's been building up after all this time, and all they did is throw them into a Battle Royal, well, you know what? If the only reason people are going to watch this Battle Royal is because of those two being in it, just have a normal singles match.
Here's the thing, Tony. Maybe they had those matches on the house show circuit, and they sucked.
If they do that, then they shouldn't be trying to tease any kind of a feud between the two of them, because then people are going to be disappointed. Just cancel it.
No, but
when they had The Miz and Damian Mizdow kind of break up a couple weeks ago, have that be the end of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What hurts this match?
Good, Wago.
Go on, Steve. Go on.
What hurts this match a lot is that there's another big multi-man match on this card. So a lot of the star power that could be for this battle royal is non-existent. Now you could argue that those people that are in the other multi-match are in a higher profile match because of it. But at the same time, it just devalues what this battle royal is, which is just utter pointlessness. Because at the end, what do you get for winning?
You get a trophy.
You get Paul.
You get a big annoying fucking trophy that you can't put anywhere in your house because it's too obnoxious to fucking put anywhere. What do? Stick it in your fucking backyard?
Sure.
Here's the other thing. Now, if we're tying this into what did they do over this go-home show of Monday Night Raw to build this, did Big Show do anything tonight?
I don't think I even saw him.
He wasn't even on Raw.
Yeah, I don't even think I saw him.
So they didn't build up the Big Show and Kane part. They had a 10-man tag match, which the highlight of that was Bill Simmons. Who the fuck is Bill Simmons? And he was still amazing on the
phone. All right. Don't make yourself ignorant, Tony.
No, Bill Simmons, he's actually not a very important sports broadcaster, but he is well known, at least in that industry. I think a lot of people who knew sports knew who he was, and maybe more people in LA.
Yeah, you put Sinner over, right, JBL? Yeah, you put Sinner over. I know words.
the way that I'm looking at that, I don't follow sports. Who the fuck is this guy, and why is he so much better than what's happening on the build to a lot of the other things? This guy brought up the idea of booking the Easter Bunny when Adam Rose came out. WWE hasn't done anything with the Bunny after they built up that whole idea that was going to become a feud. If he can come out there, and he's not even in the wrestling business, and be like, Easter's coming up, you should probably do something with that Bunny again, then hire that fucking guy and have him figure out the build of WrestleMania. He probably sitting there going, you know who probably would win this 10-man tag match? Big Show. Where's Big Show? They're probably like, don't say that because we don't really have any ideas. But
cynical Tony Mango.
We'll get you later on because you know what else you don't see in basketball? People just holding the basketball and struggling back and forth while the show ends.
Yo, all right, I gotta talk about what just went down in the chat room here. So Silent Winded Doom is like, Bill Simmons is a famous rapper, record label owner, and entrepreneur. He was behind Def Poetry and Creepers on Raiders. Isn't that Russell Simmons? It's like, no, so do I think you're thinking of Snoop Dogg? He was on the show tonight.
The way I see this battle royal, I reckon it should be on the pre-show and switch the battle royal with the tag teams match. It just makes sense to me. I'd rather see the tag team gold on the main card than
a battle royal makes more sense as a mania. As a matter of fact, they had a tradition of doing that for a while, where they just had a battle royal on the pre-show. I remember they did that at that one Mania that was in Florida. I don't remember if it was 24 or 28.
I think it was 24, and like the winner.
I think that was where like Kofi did one of his first spots, where like he walked on people's backs on the outside of the ring.
No, was that the one that Kane won, and then he beat Chavo in like 15 seconds or something like that?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that was.
They had one where Yoshitatsu won because they had some Japanese guy who in the crowd.
I forgot about that. That Yoshitatsu won a WrestleMania Battle Royal. That's amazing.
I think that was like 25 too, wasn't it?
Of course.
Apparently they had someone of importance in the crowd who was Japanese descent, so they're like, fucking Yoshi's winning tonight.
Was he as important or not as important as the guy that's going into the Hall of Fame this year that they never even bothered to announce?
They announced him on SmackDown.
But they still put his picture up on that list of all the people. I was like really trying to spot that. He's like all the way in the back.
Which, by the way, when you guys were saying about, I think it was Paden specifically who said if they don't include Connor as like an actual inductee, they had him in that picture tonight.
Well, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go off on that tonight. I wanted to go into the theory that I teased before on that call with Aisha about this Battle Royal here. So the fact that they announced that they're going to have one of these NXT guys involved in this makes me really wonder why. Because if you have one of them in there, like I said, and they lose, it's a total waste of that talent. You're just completely shitting on them. And maybe that's their agenda. Maybe they want to shit on every NXT talent just to put them in their place when they come up there. I don't know. But I hope that's not the case. So it seems like the favorite for this would be Adrian Neville, right? He's the one most likely to come up. He's former NXT champion, definitely seasoned well enough. I mean, he was seasoned well enough by the time he came in. He probably only had to be there for like 2 months to learn some things, and he was ready to come up. But I believe he's probably the most likely one to go in there. If we recall, do you guys remember the gimmick that they were saying that they were going to give Adrian Neville when he came up?
Oh, shit, you're right.
The Mighty Mouse gimmick, where it's like a small guy who's really strong. I wonder if they are going to do the exact same finish as last year, only with Adrian Neville lifting up some big guy. It doesn't have to be Big Show. It could be Mark Henry or Kane or somebody.
Oh, so
I could just picture it now. Like, he does his fucking big, what's the red arrow? And then JBL will be like, yeah, but you got to get him over now. And he fucking does it.
No, he just deadlifts him and throws him over. Just imagine if he does something like that. I'll be more fucking impressed if he did that than Cesaro, who's just eliminating the Big Show.
Is he strong?
He actually is pretty strong, yeah.
Dude, he's fucking built.
To fucking elevate yourself.
Yeah, but you could be built
like that.
You could be built and not be strong.
No, he's got a like massive internal strength. Like his arms aren't as jacked, but his body strength is incredible.
He's really fucking stocky. Like if you see him in person, it's freaky.
Yeah, so that's how I could see that going down. And if that's how they do it, tremendous, awesome, wonderful debut for Neville. Separates him from the pack of whatever they might be doing the night after Mania. Makes a statement at WrestleMania. And that's what I truly hope if they go for. If it's any other thing they're going to do with that, it's got to be Tyler Breeze going in just being tossed out. And that doesn't matter. That's fine.
Here's a thought. What if they have him be the runner-up?
What do you mean?
He comes close, you know, he does a really good job and whatever. It's down to him and I don't fucking know.
I think that'll be fine,
God
dude.
knows who else. And you know, person who's gonna win, just you know, he gets the edge on him, and maybe they build him up the week afterward as like, I'm gonna bring out that guy that almost beat me. You know, this guy's Adrian Neville and whatever, and I think that you should be on the main roster and that kind of a thing. Or it's just, you know, fucking Sheamus
My
wins.
only problem with
everybody.
that is if they did do it that way, who would it be? Because the only people that I think would be fitting to do something like that with are in the Intercontinental title match, like a Ziggler or a Daniel Bryan. Those are the guys I could see them doing. Like, hey, good job, kid. You fought hard. You just didn't win today.
The issue is it devalues him instantly.
I mean, not necessarily. That's how John Cena debuted.
I don't
Plus,
like
it doesn't matter if you come in with all of the touting in the world if Vince McMahon and all the other people in charge of creative ends up just jobbing you out. Look at the Ascension. They came in, we're better than everybody. They beat a couple of tag teams. Now they're losing the primetime players.
And, you know, and it seems like if, as far as main roster guys, the two most top guys in it, as we're saying, are Miz and Mizdow. Certainly ain't going to do that with the Miz. Maybe
No.
Mizdow, he could be like, you know, I know what it's like to be overlooked and unappreciated. So, you know, why don't you come up here? You know, we can hang out and, you know, we'll get you acquainted up here. Maybe they could do that with him.
The only other thing I can think of what they could do with an NXT guy is if they actually have them eliminate Sheamus, and that's what can set Sheamus' heel turn off.
Ooh. Yeah, and then Sheamus pulls them out and it begins their first feud with Sheamus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see that. That's not bad either. Okay, so there's a few good possibilities here. All right, good on you, WWE. Let's see what you could do though, because maybe you're most likely gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, you're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, I don't know what. let's not pat him on the back just yet.
Let's also see what changes with SmackDown, because for all we know, they could have Sheamus come out on SmackDown, and when it comes to our predictions on Smack Talk, we could be like, well, fuck, Sheamus is going to just destroy everybody or something, you know what I mean? A lot can change in the next hour.
Sheamus comes out and has like a 1-on-10 match and just fucking bro kicks them all.
Yeah, right. Like, that could happen. That's the stupidest thing about this.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and move on to our next caller here. They are calling in from the 954 area code. Caller from 954, you're live on the Raw Post Show on Mega Powers Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yo, it's me. It's DDP.
Whoa.
Okay,
I didn't expect DDP to call in.
you may know me. You may remember me. You may not. It's Patrick.
Oh, what's up, Patrick?
I thought it was
calling.
DDP.
Wait, you're not Rick?
Oh, that's what the DDP stands for.
Not you, obviously.
Yes, not you.
Yeah.
How you doing, Patrick? Let's Raw before Mania. How you feeling? You excited for WrestleMania? Or are you down in the dumps?
Yes, I am. And I want to say it's clearly and you know, and the one thing I'm most looking forward to is that one, the Russian I hate. I'm sure that everyone's favorite, everyone's hated little Russian. Rusev will lose at WrestleMania because he has the upper hand, so he's got to lose, and especially because like clearly they're saving up Rusev to be undefeated for almost a whole year for him to lose at WrestleMania, and that's good for it to be especially at like a WrestleMania, and then yeah, and then also Sting debuts on he debuted on Raw like a couple of weeks, 2 months ago, but like he kicked off the show, which was good.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, Patrick.
Okay.
What match are you most excited for WrestleMania right now?
Okay, right now, just the Sting versus Triple H. You know, there could be a big chance that could be the main event because, like,
You think so?
and like I don't know, like I don't know because Vince McMahon probably saying, I'm sure he's gonna think, fans are gonna boo Roman Reigns after he wins. So like, let's do something else. Like they gotta do something to make everyone forget about it. You know.
That is one big pile of shit.
I don't believe that, but no. Sting deserves to main event WrestleMania. But, you know, I really hate the concept of, a Royal Rumble winner not main eventing WrestleMania, but for some reason I do not want to see Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns be the last match.
Well, if they're going to have that match be anything like they went off the air tonight, I sure as hell hope it's not the main event.
Yeah,
What'd you think about that last segment we had tonight
like,
with the two of them just pulling the title back and forth?
Yeah, clearly, yeah. And then the and there could also be a possibly Seth Rollins cash in. And you know what? And also surprisingly, Kevin Nash is now in WWE Hall of Fame, but unfortunately, it looks like he's going to be Kevin Nash and not Diesel, which is kind of strange. Which is kind of strange because last year Scott Hall went in as Razor Ramon. He didn't have a problem with that.
Well, that's fitting. If Scott Hall went in as Razor Ramon, then Kevin Nash is going to go in as Diesel. I'm not too much of a fan of it. I'm sure they have their reasons, and we can all speculate what they are. But I don't know. That's the way they're doing it.
Yeah.
Patrick, if you had to pick a high point and a low point for tonight's show, what would it be?
Okay, high point would have to be high point. I really love the Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm clearly clearly Dolph Ziggler could be one of the favorites in the ladder match. Also Daniel Bryan and Dean Ambrose. Right now, they're the three who could, and then low point would have to be that Divas Championship match between Paige and Nikki Bella. I thought they were giving Diva a chance, but it doesn't look like it.
No, that was certainly awkward.
That's not giving Divas a chance. That's not what I expected. You know, when they really
oh, we don't want to talk about divas. We don't want to talk about these damn divas.
I know
these poor girls.
Divas, so,
yeah,
I don't watch Total Divas, so.
That's a smart man. All right, Patrick, we got a couple other callers waiting patiently. We want to make sure we get them in there. We always appreciate your call, though. Patrick, how are you watching WrestleMania this weekend?
WWE Network for just $9.99.
Good salesman right there. All right, Patrick, you have a good night. You enjoy WrestleMania this weekend?
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right, folks. Just reminding everyone out there.
All right, I will.
If you want to dial in, join the fun here on the Raw Post Show on Mega Powers Radio. We invite everyone to join it. It's dial in yourself with their phone. Area code 760-512-7247 is the number to dial to get in with us. I had a thought when he brought up DDP. It made me think of Randy Orton. And I know I missed a segment tonight, but was Randy Orton on the show tonight? And that's the segment I missed?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, he
wrestled
had that
Jay.
match.
Yeah, he had a match.
With who?
J&J Security and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, they did a vote where you could vote for Big Show, Kane, or Seth Rollins and J&J Security as his opponent.
I do have notes about this.
Oh.
Well, you know, okay, let's talk about this because they had this fucking match this week. They had Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins last week.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck are we having this match at WrestleMania? Didn't they do the same shit with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns? Where they had like the match on Raw right before they were going to have it on a pay-per-view?
Just as well, considering Roman Reigns got injured after that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what the fuck are they thinking?
Oh, then we had, the Fastlane stuff. That it's like, well, we're just going to kind of do a rematch of this. It's like, I don't know. WrestleMania sucks.
And the sad thing is, this should be a match that I think should interest a lot of people. You know, Seth Rollins is a really awesome young talent that a lot of people are really behind. Randy Orton is a veteran that people, for the most part, throughout his career have always liked. There's never really been a period where people have fully turned against Randy Orton, other than maybe his babyface run a couple of years ago. So what gives? What's going on here?
I guess they figured we can give away the Rollins and Orton match because what people are really building up to is Extreme Rules, J&J Security against Orton.
I don't know what they're doing right now. The match, I think, is going to be fantastic when they go out there without a fuck finish. And maybe their idea is, hey, we're teasing the Orton coming so close but coming so short each time. If that's the case, then Randy Orton has to win for the story to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And he shouldn't have had a beatdown.
No, the beatdown hurt this more than anything.
Yeah, because, all right, he already beat him down.
And
what's he going to do at WrestleMania?
And not only was it a beatdown,
Ooh.
it was a terrible beatdown. It was awkward. The announcers had no idea how to call it. it just did not feel good. It was not satisfying because that was not the way. That whole Randy Orton story was just awkward as fuck. Like, what did they think they were doing here? You had this guy come back. He's had his skull put through some cement blocks by this guy, and he comes back and is just like, hey, let's hug.
John Gatto wrote up a post on Smarkout Moment, if anybody's interested, about this, basically saying that beatdown made him feel like Seth Rollins was the babyface.
Yeah.
And that it was like, you know, why should I be cheering Randy Orton? And I agree with him. I mean, it was awkward as fuck. And they were selling it like he, I don't know, like got legitimately injured. And they were like, okay, guys, we got to be really actually telling you the truth now that this is happening. And this is just, oh man,
this story's so weird that I don't know who should win. Like, I'm on the opinion that Seth Rollins should win because he's like the younger guy that they should put over. Mm-hmm. But I mean, from a storyline perspective, what's the better story?
Mizdow.
The only thing I care about this match is where the fuck it's going to be on the WrestleMania card. If it's at the beginning of this card, Seth Rollins is definitely cashing in at the end of the night.
Second or third match.
Yeah, that's where I would expect it to be. Or honestly, this might be the quote unquote death spot match.
Mm-hmm.
If
you know what, I can see this match being really good, but because it's in a bad spot, no one reacts to it. Kind of like CM Punk versus Randy Orton.
Or who was the one with Kane? Was it Orton Kane? Or is it Punk Kane?
Orton Kane.
Either way, you know. Oh no, that was the same year that Punk had Mysterio in that weird spot, right? There's like this weird aura about like Kane and Orton and Punk when it comes to WrestleMania. And I think that Orton's going to get gypped again this year. If it doesn't get that pre-main event spot, it's going to get that other death spot between like
that like fourth match
Sting and Taker or something. You know what I mean? Like they're going to obviously give a huge great spot to Cena, and that mid-card thing is going to be like the swap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter that this match is probably like a better build. It's going to be a much better match than that Cena match. Cena's got to be high in the card. Don't believe what they put in that story about how you're not guaranteed anything at WrestleMania. Cena,
you know, Cena being high, he used to be friends with Mojo Rawley. He doesn't just get high; he stays high.
Oh man. One other thing I want to get before we take on our next caller. We had a Hall of Fame announcement that was probably one of the worst kept secrets for the Hall of Fame. Big Daddy Cool Diesel announced to go in. Not Kevin Nash, that's correct. It is Diesel going into the Hall of Fame.
Is it? Because they said on the graphic Kevin Nash.
Did they?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pissed off that Scott Holding got the same treatment. It's like, I understand if you put Diesel and Razor Ramon in, if you're going to put the NWO in later as Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
Oh, because the way they did that video, they just kept calling him Diesel over and over again, so I thought that's what they were doing.
Yeah, but then they did the whole, and then Kevin Nash came to WCW.
Okay.
And yada, yada, yada.
All right, well, you know what? That I think that just confirms the theory I was going to come up with even more. The reason I think they did that with Razor Ramon, it comes back to this whole thing about Googling. Now, if you Google Kevin Nash, yeah, there might be some like weird things and like memes and stuff like that. But if you Google Scott Hall, you're going to see some like not so good shit. Like not quite the level of China, but you're going to see him like making an ass of himself at indie shows and this terrible shit about his past. You're not going to find that as much for Razor Ramon.
It's true.
Huh, Kevin Nash. Top 10 ways to prepare for your quadriceps surgery.
The man who wrote the book on the situation. I'm actually positive about this. I'm happy Big Daddy Cool's going in. Big Kev, Big Sexy, whatever you want to call him. It was kind of awkward when Booker T talked about how sexy he was. Oh man, he was so sexy.
Heads up, that might have something to do with the Ask Him.
Oh, indeed. Okay. How you guys feel about this? I know, Drew, you're definitely a little young for the Diesel era. Maybe you saw the tail end of what Kevin Nash was doing.
Drew left. He went to go jerk off to Kevin Nash.
Oh, good for him. All right. Well, what do you guys think about it?
When I was getting into wrestling, it wasn't. Kevin Nash was still around in that period, so I've got a lot of memories of him. And half of my pro wrestling library that I collected has a shit ton of his matches on. So I've got fond memories of him. I liked the stuff that he did with Bret Hart. I think it was Survivor Series 1995. Either way, big fan of Kevin Nash. Glad he's going in. He deserves a spot. He's done a lot in his career, regardless if you think he got there the right way or the wrong way.
Well said, Tony.
Always been a big fan of Kevin Nash and Diesel. Always liked pretty much everything that he had done, even if I can't necessarily name, like 20 different 5-star classic matches that he's had. Always liked the character, always liked the guy himself. I mean, he seems like kind of a little bit of a douche sometimes, but he seems like that kind of level of douchebag that I can identify with, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. Like a Dolph Ziggler or something, where it's like, he knows, like, yeah, I was like a main eventer and I kicked some ass and I made a lot of money, and fuck you if you don't like that. Big Daddy Cool was a cool character. I liked him as a heel. I liked him as a babyface, and he was awesome in NWO. So as far as I'm concerned, maybe he should have even gone in a couple years ago. Glad that he's in now.
Yeah. Shaun?
I can't say an awful lot about Kevin Nash.
Okay.
The only memory I got of Kevin Nash is when he returned with the NWO.
Mm-hmm.
Back when they had that run, and I remember his TNA stuff a lot more.
Oh, jeez.
Because that's when I started watching TNA. Was around that era.
To give him some credit, I believe he was the man responsible for starting the Black Machismo character. Yeah, am I wrong with that? No, wasn't he doing that thing where he was doing that like paparazzi?
Oh, my favorite thing he did in that paparazzi thing is he blatantly like made fun of Sanjay Dutt's back knee, like going, "Hey, you're fucking on steroids."
Nice. I'm definitely happy for this. A lot of my earliest memories actually involve Diesel. When I first started watching in February 1996, him and Shawn Michaels were doing the two dudes with attitudes thing, which was really interesting looking back on it, because at that time Shawn Michaels was a babyface going into his main event match with Bret Hart, and Diesel was a heel going into his match with The Undertaker, and yet there they were as a tag team, and people loved them both. And shortly after that WrestleMania is when Kevin Nash turned his back on Shawn Michaels. They had a kick-ass match at the In Your House the month after that WrestleMania, which helped launch that summer of Shawn. Then I went to a house show at Madison Square Garden, which is one of the most infamous house shows ever, known as the Curtain Call Incident. If you don't know what that is, get on my level, son. I mean, I didn't know back then. Then he goes over to WCW, and that whole shit with the NWO happens in 1996, which is arguably the thing that launched the whole boom of wrestling throughout the late 90s. So this guy, without a doubt, is a deserved Hall of Famer, especially going in by himself. I mean, I know he was part of a lot of good tag teams and groups or whatever. No, he deserves to go in by himself, as himself. Is he a headliner? I think that's a bigger question to wonder. I think it could be argued. I'm okay with it. Again, just like with WrestleMania, not every class has to be knocking out of the park. I'm happy enough Macho Man's going in, and I understand their logic that you can't have a dead guy be the main event, and more importantly, you don't want to have Lanny Poffo be your main event. So, cool. Have Kevin Nash out there.
And let's not forget, he had the greatest world title match of all time, the Finger Poke of Doom.
Yeah, sure.
The only other thing I've got to add on this is fuck Lanny Poffo.
Oh, yes. Fuck Lanny Poffo. Let's put that out there. Can we get an amen on the fuck Lanny Poffo?
Amen.
Chat, give us some fuck Lanny Poffos in there. I'll give you a shout out if you give us a fuck Lanny Poffo. We are down to 4 minutes left here, which I want to start getting all these callers in, because we've had a few callers waiting patiently here, and we appreciate y'all doing that. Again, just telling everyone out there, if you want to get yourself in line, we might be able to fit another one or two in there. Call in area code 760-512-7247. Again, that's area code 760-512-7247. Let's bring on our first caller from the Skype line. It's Mr. Silent Wind of Doom. What's up, Silent Wind of Doom?
I like the Divas match.
Okay.
I was actually interested and invested in a Divas storyline and match tonight. I was like, neat.
All right, let's talk about it. I just didn't want to continue it before, but we didn't really talk much about the Divas tonight. We actually had a bit of a debate last week about the Divas match they had last week, which I actually thought wasn't too bad. And the match this week wasn't too bad either. I'm just not sure how I'm supposed to feel about what's going to happen and how it's going to impact things going forward. That's what I think is really lost in this.
Oh no, all that's screwed up, but I just thought it's nice.
Yeah, well, I think the big part of that was, like Shaun said, everyone's ass looked fantastic.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, did
Yeah,
Nikki
referee,
have more
man.
work done? Did Nikki have more work done, or has just me being here watching for a year made her look normal to me?
I couldn't tell you. I'm not her doctor.
Okay. All right. So moving on. Sting talked. Holy crap! He talked.
That's awful. That's awful.
Not a fan of Sting talking. Didn't think that was good. I thought that segment was awesome, but I thought that it ended in a huge anticlimax.
The one with Sting and Triple H?
Yeah. It looked pretty cool, and everyone was awesome, and we're leading up, and then it just kind of ended.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H walked away.
Well, he knew it wasn't.
We'll
he knew it
later.
wasn't that night. You know, if people want to see Triple H fight Sting, they got to pay the $9.99. You know how it is.
$9.99. $9.99. That tonight is how you use Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan didn't say $9.99 tonight. He didn't hawk a thing.
No.
At all. It was awesome. He did a good job today. I thought that segment was cool, and Hogan was awesome and didn't suck.
I never need to see Snoop Dogg's arms again, though.
No. They were merciless too at the announcer's table for little noodle arms. What do you say, like his 3-inch python?
His 3-inch pythons?
I think they said, like, if you add Hulk Hogan's and Snoop Dogg's arms, you get a certain amount of length pythons, and Hogan's like 20-something of those.
Yeah, I think
it was some kind of joke of 26 pythons and the 26-inch pythons and the 6-inch pythons, I think.
I got no idea, but either way, they was ripping the shit out of him.
I mean, how are you gonna insult Snoop Dogg?
With my mouth.
Oh my. I'm going to give them tonight the award. I'm going to give them the Low Expectations Breaker Medal of the Night.
Ooh.
They did the whole segment with Ms. and Ms. Bell for the movie Get Hard, and they didn't make one Niagara.
One what?
And I was like, oh, it's Niagara. Remember the Viagra commercials they were doing?
Oh, yes.
I was like, oh, that's terrible. That's a terrible joke. I'm just sitting here waiting for it, and they didn't do it. They broke through my very low expectations.
That actually would have been a funny way to fit that in. Get hard, huh? Well, that reminds me of this commercial I did a couple weeks ago.
But it's a bad. I had fun. I enjoyed the show.
All right, so I want to do your high point, low point then.
My high point is a tie. I don't know if it's a tie between the Divas and Hogan, but I'd go with Hogan. Why not? I'll go with Hogan just because the Divas. But my low point is Cena getting smashed into the announcer's table and then reaching under his body because someone's poking him in like the tummy or something and completely just ruining the cell.
I didn't even notice that.
Terrible. It was terrible.
Oh, goodness.
But yeah, I'm going to go back to the chat now.
All right, so do you want me to leave you on mute here?
Can we get a fuck Lanny Poffo?
No, but no, son.
Kick him off.
All right. Thanks, Silent Window Doom. You enjoy your WrestleMania weekend. We're going to keep the fun going on here. We got a caller coming in from the... oh, wait, I got to do this the proper way. I am so not prepared. We got a caller calling in from the 412. Let's give the proper introduction here. All right, we got you there, JD.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Absolutely tremendous. How you doing tonight, dude?
Oh, pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good show overall tonight. For a go-home show, I expected more, but I thought it was pretty good overall. It had its high points and low points. I thought the Ambrose and Truth match was pretty good when they were against Stardust and Luke Harper. Them dancing at the end was kind of a nice touch. Let's see, we had what else did we have? We had the 10-man tag. I don't know, that was kind of forgetful. You could forget about that one. It wasn't really anything great. Oh, and then the greatest part, we had Randy Orton. And, you could choose which one of the Butt Boys did you want him to go against tonight, however. You could have him go against Butt Boy A, Butt Boy B, or Butt Boy C, however. So then, it doesn't matter the voting. It's like when they have you vote against the street fight versus the no DQ, however. It's always the same damn match. So, of course, you have Randy Orton go over, which was good. But what really bugged me tonight was how much they plugged the network, however. It's like, those of us who already want it, we already have it, however. So why do you have to keep telling us? There's probably like only 2 people in the world who don't have the network anymore, however. And so if they're not going to order it, they're not going to order it. The Divas match is kind of forgettable. We're not really sure where they're going with that storyline. Then you had the interspecies match, I think they were calling it. That was pretty weird, however, but it was all right. After that, we had Rusev and Jack Swagger. Answer me this, however. How many times are we going to have to watch this match? How many times have we seen this match this year, however? It's like Rusev versus Jack Swagger. Maybe this time Swagger will win. No, it never happens. He'll never beat him. It's ridiculous. What a waste of time.
I thought that would have been hilarious if Swagger just beat him tonight right before WrestleMania.
That'll go with that whole idea of the shitty WrestleMania heel thing.
They need to get Rusev off TV. They need to put his Russian ass back to where he came from, however. They need to get him out of America. He's talking bad about America every single week, however, and he can't do that. Why is he even in the WWE anymore? He doesn't care about America. Cena's going to teach him a lesson this Sunday, and I can't wait for that. My highlight of the night was probably the Daniel Bryan Dolph Ziggler match. That was really good, however. Of course, he had the special guest referee, Ambrose, out there. And, I enjoyed that. It was pretty good. And, it was going to turn into a brawl at the very end of it. But it was pretty good for the most part, however. And then you had the ladder set up, and they're trying to climb up the ladder and then get the title, and ends with everybody all laid out, passed out in the ring, however, which is interesting. It's a nice lead-up for Sunday, however. The Paul Heyman promo this week was kind of lacking, however. You had Lesnar there. He was kind of sporting a little bit of the beard, however, which is kind of interesting. But, the Paul Heyman promo left a little bit to be desired. Then Roman Reigns come out, and they just sort of struggle with the belt a little bit, however. That was kind of pointless, too. What is the point of that?
Sorry, dude, we got a lot of callers.
What is a moo cow?
We had to get the moo cow out. Sorry, we got a lot of callers we got to get to here, man. I don't think we're going to even have time for SJD, but let's do your high point and low point.
But what before I get, my high point, my low point, like I said, my high point was probably the Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan match. I like that one a lot, however. The low point, maybe the product placement. The Burger King segment, however, with Tysonn Kidd, that was really weird, however. With the chicken fries. I mean, I'm not really into that comic relief kind of stuff, however.
No.
But before I let you guys go, I wanted to tell you something. I heard that the fake JD called in again recently, and I thought this was over with, however. I thought this was something we had cleared up. I thought you guys had figured out the mess. You had that investigator, Cliff Clavin or whoever he is. I thought you had him take care of it, however. But I heard he called in again, posing as me. You had that imposter on there, and that's ridiculous. You guys should know me by now. I've been calling into you guys for over a year, however. You should know my voice. Is this still a problem? Am I going to have to call him out?
Well, how would you do that?
Next week on the Monday Night Raw post show. I'm calling him out right now. I'm calling out that imposter. I want him to call in, and I can tell him what I really think of him. He's not going to have his goons to back him up. Silent Wind of Doom is not going to be able to back him up. Just me one-on-one with that goon. How does that sound?
You hear that, Silent Wind of Doom?
Right now, night after WrestleMania.
So I will get Silent Wind of Doom's people to work on it, and I think we can make that line up next week.
All right, I can't wait. I can't wait to put him in his place, because that imposter needs to be shut down and shut down now.
This is absolutely a problem, and it's the time for all things to be solved, so let's solve it. All right, JD, you have a good night, man. We'll definitely talk to you. How are you enjoying WWE this weekend, the WrestleMania show?
Oh, I'm just gonna be having the network on 24/7. However, it's gonna be a great weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, man. You enjoy that. We'll talk to you on the other side next week. We'll have you, JD versus JD. It's going down. You have a good night.
Yeah, watch out, Silent Window Doom.
Well, actually, we don't know if it is. We got to talk to Silent Window Doom and see if there's an acceptance on the other side. We should probably make sure that's going down. Let's see, Silent Window Doom, you still there? Silent Window Doom? Huh.
Did he back away and run away?
Funny how he wasn't at his mic while this was happening. He must have went over to his telephone to make a call. Silent Window Doom.
Totally myself.
Oh, there he is.
Hey.
Silent.
I was muted eating chips.
Yeah, sure you were. Sure you.
That sounds like a phony answer to that.
Oh yeah. We will see what shall happen next week. Maybe the fake JD will even show up tonight. I really don't know because I have never admitted anything having to do with it. I'm sorry.
Okay, if you say so. Well, if I'm going to leave you here, and if the fake JD shows up and you're not able to answer at the same time, you're going down.
Oh shit, son.
Yeah. All right, putting Silent Window Doom back on mute for now. Let's go ahead and take our next caller. We got about a little under half an hour here, so I want to make sure we get through everybody. This caller is another regular that we got here calling in from the 540. Let me get his music called up. It's Mr. Jeff. Jeff, you there, bud?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Jeff.
How you doing?
Tremendous, man. It's the Raw before WrestleMania. We're all getting ready for it. How are you feeling about the big event?
Oh, I'm ready for it, man. Sting versus Triple H. I've been waiting for that match. Been 14 years in the making. I am ready for that match.
Indeed.
I'm also
good.
I'm also excited for the ladder match for the Intercontinental title too. It's going to be a good match.
Mm-hmm.
And Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. I don't think it's going to be a good match either. But I would see after that match Seth Rollins cash in the briefcase and win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that happen too.
At WrestleMania or perhaps the night after?
Right now I'm thinking WrestleMania, or he could do it the night after WrestleMania. But I'm thinking between WrestleMania at WrestleMania.
And who's he going to do it on?
If Lesnar were to retain the title against Reigns and Reigns beats him up, and I'd say Rollins wins the belt against Lesnar.
Indeed. There is a little bit of a history between Rollins and Lesnar. Honestly, I think those guys stole the show at the Royal Rumble. Not to give anything against John Cena. John Cena played his part too.
No doubt about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No doubt about that match. But anyway, I have some news to report about I don't know if you guys been hearing this or not on Twitter recently.
Something's happening on Twitter.
There's been rumors going around that AJ Lee and CM Punk are not following each other on Twitter.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Fucking journalistic Jeff here dropping a bombshell. Shit.
Yes. Yes, I've been hearing rumors. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know if it's true or not, but I've been hearing some rumors too.
Hold on to your butt. Hold on to your
butt. But anyway, we can. I want to go back to WrestleMania too right now. The reason why I'm excited for Sting versus Triple H is because it has so much hype, man. It has so much hype.
What are you, Bray Wyatt? Man.
Think back 2000. What?
You did the Bray Wyatt. You went, man.
What?
Man.
I was only kidding. But, yeah, Sting and Triple H, there's so much hype for this match because you guys got to remember, 14 years ago today, WWE bought WCW.
Really? This 14 years ago to this day?
Yeah, 14 years ago to this day, March 23rd, 2001.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, heard that earlier on tonight. Tonight when Sting arrived on Raw, and they talked about it.
Huh.
By the way, did anybody see Paul Stanley from Kiss on the show tonight?
No.
I didn't see anybody there in Kiss makeup.
I think you're getting him mixed up with Sting.
You sure it wasn't Phil Collins?
He was there too. But,
It was Russell
yeah,
Simmons.
another match I'm looking forward to at WrestleMania is The Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt. I've been waiting to see
Surprise,
that match
motherfucker.
I've been waiting to see that match for a long, long time. Yeah. Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, I'm shocked how many people are very
Undertaker-
excited about this. I mean, it's been a lot of, as Shaun put it, Bray Wyatt talking to himself. We have not seen any Undertaker. I mean, I guess it's official. We're going to go into WrestleMania unless for some reason he appears on SmackDown, which I wouldn't see happening, with no Undertaker appearances whatsoever.
He's been gone so long, he might think the brand split's still in effect.
he was a SmackDown guy.
The Undertaker's not going to show up on SmackDown, but WrestleMania, he's got to be there to shut Bray Wyatt's mouth up. And here's another WrestleMania 32 prediction I would like to see before I get out.
Okay.
I think it'll be The Undertaker versus Sting at WrestleMania 32.
Yeah, if they both have big wins at this WrestleMania, it'll set them up for that.
All right, give me the high and the low point, and then I know you guys got a lot of callers, so you guys give me the high and the low.
No, you were meant to give us the high and the low.
You tell us the high point, low point, Jeff, please.
I guess the high point to me would be Bryan versus Ziggler. Low point is the crappy ending with Reigns and Lesnar fighting over the belt, like tugging over the belt.
Tug of war.
Yeah.
That's awful. That's awful.
Before I sign off here, I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but it was something serious in Mexico. Did you guys see what happened when Rey Mysterio almost hit that 619 on somebody?
Yeah, it's a very sad story. I think you're hard pressed to find anyone who hasn't heard about that. That thing is everywhere. I'm actually shocked with how much media press it's getting. Obviously, especially from the Spanish community. I went to my local Mexican food eatery, and they had all the Spanish channels on their TVs, obviously, because they're stereotype. And all the channels,
because stereotypes.
Hey, don't laugh at another man's death.
No, I'm laughing at the Mexican restaurant, but all the channels had stuff about that story. They were showing clips of the match, or like pictures of the guy, or pictures of Rey Mysterio, and that's the guy I feel the worst for all this. We're going to go in depth about this topic on Smack Talk this week, so pay attention to smarkoutmoment.com. We're going to have a full in-depth discussion on this topic, but yeah, we're aware it's a very sad story. I'm honestly shocked WWE didn't put some kind of like a little note, in memoriam or something like that. I mean, if they
just watch out, they're gonna ban drop kicks.
If they could do that for Steve Jobs, why can't they do it for that guy?
He's not in the WWE also, but
yeah, well, neither was fucking Gandhi.
Sure Triple H and others have heard about it.
I'm sure some people in WWE at least were good friends with this guy, came up with this guy. I'm sure Sin Cara knew him. I'm sure, I believe Hideo Itami knew him. He wrestled with him at certain points. So there's definitely a connection, but definitely a sad story. I actually appreciate you bringing it up, Jeff. That's very classy of you.
Can I have one more thing to say too?
What's up?
One more thing.
I heard that JD was going to call out JD tomorrow. I mean, this next week. So I want to be there when it happens.
Oh, really?
Yes, I want to be there when it happens.
Hold on to your butt.
All right then, you can you can definitely be there, Jeff. You call in, we'll make sure you're a part of it.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
You have a good night, man. Well, how are you watching WrestleMania this weekend?
Am I going to watch WrestleMania? Of course, on the network.
Oh, of course. In the comfort of your own home, I'm assuming?
Yep. What?
In the comfort of your own home?
What?
Yeah, in the comfort of my own home. I don't live in California, thank goodness. But I live in Virginia.
All right, Jeff. You have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Goodness gracious.
Hold on, you
let's see what Silent of Doom is up to. Silent of Doom, you there?
Silent of Doom.
Silent of Doom?
Is he holding on to his butt?
I guess he's not there, which is weird because we're getting another call in from the 412.
Oh God.
Shit, here we go.
Are we blaming it on chips again?
Yeah.
Chip eating motherfucker.
Hold on to your chips.
All right, well let's give this the intro again. JD, you there, bud?
I'm finally here, Michael. What's going on? Yeah.
Finally? Weren't you just here?
No, I wasn't. However, once again, it's that stupid imposter we know and we know who it was, that little bitch Silent of Doom, however, who tried to basically mimic me. And once again, he had to be a little bitch about it, however, more ways than one.
It's very interesting that I tried to bring him on the line here, and he wasn't there. He's not able to be at the same place twice. I think there's some fishy conduct going on here.
Well, let me first off, before we get anything else, where's my attorney? If Jeff's listening right now, and I hope he's listening, Howard, he better get to the bottom of this whole thing, Howard, because this was absolute horse shit that little, D-bag decided to sneak in, however, and mimic me and make fun of taking my mojo away again tonight, Howard. And once again, Silent of Doom, I've said many times, you're a little punk, Howard. That's what you are, a punk-ass bitch.
The words have been drawn. No. So can I assume that this challenge has been accepted and we're going to have a face-to-face next week?
I think we're definitely going to have a face-to-face next Monday night. No doubt about it. I'm ready for it. But let's get into Mania. Let's get into tonight's show.
This has a better build than WrestleMania.
This has been. You're right. I got to say, the ending of Raw absolutely, was an absolute bullshit ending. I don't know who called that audible. It was either Kevin Dunn or Vince. However, I think there's going to be a lot of heat coming out of that, however, needless to say. They should have really saved this to start the show. This should have been your kickoff tonight, however, to start the show. Instead, you did things brass-ass backwards and put Sting on to start the show, which was good. I did like the beginning with Sting and Hunter and all that. That was pretty good. But you could have saved the Sting thing for the ending, however, and closed it out that way. But you had only one good match the whole night, which was the opener, however. The worst match in the night, however, was this whole thing with Tysonn Kidd and Cesaro and them taking on the Bullfighters. And now you're going to have those guys teaming up, however. It's going to be a fatal four-way in the pre-show. Once again, like I said before about Kevin Dunn the producing, however, I think it's WWE's fault, however, that they're putting this on the pre-show. This is a slap in the face in more ways than one. They should be putting on, personally, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal to start the show and then put the tag team on in the show itself. But instead, they're doing things brass-ass backwards with that. So that being said, kind of a mixed bag tonight, if you ask me what happened in L.A. And the other thing that was surprising, they showed Paul Stanley there. They did not acknowledge him one single time on Raw tonight.
So that was actually him there. Someone else had mentioned him, and I wasn't sure if he actually was there. So there actually was a KISS member in the crowd, and they didn't do anything to exemplify that. But yet they spent all this time talking about this sports journalist dude, and they trot out Snoop Dogg, and they showed someone else in the crowd, some other old guy with a beard.
Yeah, he was a music producer, I think, and there was two music producers. There was not a lot of Hollywood bigwigs tonight, however, surprisingly. I'm sure we might see some on SmackDown, maybe.
Usually they have Ben Stiller and stuff like that.
Right, something like Ben Stiller or Ed Norton or something like that. But like I said, I heard a lot of people after what happened with the whole tug-of-war thing, however, just left it going. They didn't even stay for SmackDown. A lot of people were actually disgusted.
Wait, they recorded SmackDown tonight?
Yeah, they just finished recording just now. Actually, I'm reading it right now. Actually, they just finished it a few minutes ago.
I don't blame them. Honestly, I think that's the best way that you're going to show them how upset you were, just by walking out after something like that. I want to know, like, what happened after the cameras cut off. Like, are they just standing like, all right, guys, it's done, and they're just like, oh, okay, all right, see you Sunday, Brock.
I think I don't think I think what happened was, however, they ran up against time. I'm looking right now. In fact, I'm reading right now. However, this is what I just saw on ProWrestling.net. This is what I heard. They only had 2 matches. Jerry Lawler and Byron Saxton came out. The SmackDown Pyro shut off, and Eden served as the ring announcer. So right after Raw, there was no dark match. I mean, for the network people, they were probably watching the Triple H Arnold thing, however. But in the building itself, however, they had a 4-way: Jimmy Uso beating Cesaro, Big E, and Fernando. However, then you have AJ come out and explain her love for the Divas title, and said Paige loved it too. And then, of course, the other match that they'll show, obviously, on SmackDown this week is the 8-man tag: John Cena, Mark Henry, Daniel Bryan, and Roman versus Big Show, Bray, Cade, and Rollins. Because the rest of the time they're going to be at Access on Thursday night, however. So they only did 2 matches that were taped, however.
So when you think about that, that's really your go-home show to Mania. But once upon a time, they would continue the stories into SmackDown, and SmackDown would still work as your go-home to Mania.
Exactly.
Obviously not anymore.
Exactly. Well, like I said, with Raw tonight, I mean, I think the ratings are going to take a big. I mean, I thought with Sting there tonight, they would have maybe done a decent rating, but I think, however, the way it ended, it's going to be dropping big time tonight. I mean, I would not be surprised if they sink down to a 2.6 maybe or a 2.5 tonight. They could really be in trouble tonight.
Hold on to your butt.
Yeah, I think we broke the bell on that one.
Well, speaking of bells, I think we're ready for Ask JD. Anything, but bear with me. I've had a little bit of a head cold the last couple of days, but I am getting better, so I'm happy to report I am feeling a lot better compared to what I was yesterday. But I'm ready to have Ask JD. And like I said, if Silent Wind of Doom is still listening, like I said, what you did tonight was incorrigible. Just despicable, deplorable. And if you're, like I said, I'm hoping my attorney is listening. Jeff, I'm surprised he hasn't called in yet. But Jeff, if you're listening tonight, you better listen to what happened tonight, because once again we had that little D-bag Silent Wind of Doom steal my thunder and take my spot. And come next Monday, I hope you're there to represent me, because Silent Wind of Doom, what you did again tonight was despicable and deplorable. Your ass is mine.
Oh gosh,
I don't care. I'm coming for you.
It's going down. Well, Silent Wind of Doom hasn't said anything in response to you, but he did submit a question for SJD, so I think we could start with him, because I actually think it's an interesting question. Silent Wind of Doom asks JD, how do you feel about the fact that LA got Snoop and all Pittsburgh got was Wiz Khalifa?
Well, not to be a jerk about it. Sometimes I can be a jerk to Silent Wind of Doom, but this was, and sometimes I can be mean to him, sometimes I can be real nice to him, and in this case, this wasn't a bad question he asked me. Personally, however, I think really just Wiz Khalifa's terrible. I said it a few weeks ago. He was really bad. He was definitely high that night. LA definitely loves their Snoop. However, it would have been nice to see Snoop come here and get Pittsburgh over, and I hope someday he does come to Pittsburgh and maybe gives Pittsburgh a shout out. But I think, you got to give LA and the crowd a little bit more recognition, even though it wasn't a great crowd. However, they still got to see their hero Snoop Dogg tonight, and of course the Hulkster.
All right, the chat is submitting all types of questions I'm not going to bring up here, you assholes, but I'm going to bring up Ferris419's got a good question. What makes you angrier, Rusev or Silent Wind of Doom?
I think they're both in their own way, but I think Rusev more, however, because he continues to just disparage America in a lot of ways, however, and I have a feeling he's going to get his butt handed to him on Sunday somehow, some way by Super Cena.
You and Silent Wind of Doom may not agree about a lot, but I'm sure you could at least agree about America.
Yes, damn right. Exactly. And that's no bullshit. That's straight up honesty right there. And like I said, I think Rusev's in for a big beatdown this Sunday, because like I said the last few weeks, if they make him win again, then Cena's going to have to win in Chicago in less than a month, and they really do not like Cena in Chicago. They're going to have to really put an end to this, because now the question is, after that, where do they go from here with both of those guys?
Silent Wind of Doom had a good follow-up. Unless there's a draft, then I'm going to Canada. Well, good luck with that. All right, let's ask the hosts here if they got anything for you. Tony, you have any Ask JDs this week? Any WrestleMania questions?
Make it good. Last week we had some bad questions, so make it at least decent.
Well, Drew's not here, so I think we'll be okay.
All right,
Well,
since
Drew,
the
we know
build
he's probably off playing with his Russian flag somewhere.
since the build from JD versus fake JD is better than WrestleMania, I'm curious if you had to do a WWE app poll to figure out what type of a gimmick match you two would have. What are the 3 choices that you would want to have to pick
Holy
from?
shit.
No, that's a very good question.
Yeah, it is. I'm impressed.
It's a pretty damn good question, Mike. All right, I'm going to say 1 would be Hell in a Cell, 2, ladder match, and 3, First Blood.
Hear that, Silent Winter Doom?
First Blood. I think Silent Winter Doom is afraid of blood. Oh,
maybe ladders.
See,
too.
Silent Winter Doom.
You might be afraid of ladders too.
Silent Winter Doom is poking the dragon now. Silent Winter Doom asks JD, "Where do you think Jeff gets his T-shirts?"
Jeff's my lawyer, however. He's gonna. His lawyer says I represent the champ because you're nothing. He's gonna be showing that the real champ he's supporting is me, and you can support your own T-shirts by getting them from your mom.
That's a lot to put on a T-shirt.
No, I'm just saying. Jeff's gonna say I represent a real champion,
Oh, okay.
me. And as far as, and I'm just saying for Silent Winter Doom, he can get his T-shirts from his mom. He says I got my T-shirt from my mom. Jeff's gonna have one that says JD's the real champion here, not the fake JD.
Wait, so Jeff is your lawyer? He passed the bar? I'm pretty sure he lowered the bar.
As far in my book, he's done more studying and he's found out more facts than ever before. And believe me, like I said, I'm surprised he hasn't called in tonight. But like I said, I hope he's listening because, like I said, what the fake JD did tonight, however, I'm sure he's going to be definitely getting to you guys one way or another this week, or send you a message and tell you that once again it was a despicable act, like I've said all night long.
All right, let's bring it over to Shaun. Shaun, you have anything for SJD this week?
What's your best chat-up line you use on the ladies?
Ooh.
What's that?
Your best pickup line. What's your best pickup line?
For a lady?
Yeah.
No, for a dude.
Go for a man.
I'm not. Actually, I don't have a pickup line for a lady. I'm just very nice. Her birthday was anyway. Her birthday was on Saturday. However, she turned 31. We're actually going to go see Rob Schneider in a few weeks. Actually,
Ooh.
I'm going to say happy late birthday
What's
to her.
he going to be?
We went out to dinner. What's Rob Schneider? Oh, he's going to be at the local casino. Yeah, he's going to be at the local casino in my hometown.
He's going to be at a
so
casino?
I'm taking my girlfriend to dinner, and we're going to go see him.
That sounds like a tough role, a casino. That's.
Yeah, I know. He's at the Rivers Casino in Pittsburgh, but like I said, however, we're going to see the early show of him. But like I said, however, I got tickets for me and my girlfriend for her birthday.
That sounds
so
fun.
It was nice of me to fire that.
All right, Wago, I'm afraid. What do you got this week?
Come on, Wago. We better have a good question this week, man.
I'm going to take a question from the
Oh,
chat
no.
because I didn't bother thinking of one. And it's gone, but I think it was, what do you recommend to prevent anal leakage?
Moo cow, please. We need a moo cow. That's a moo cow question.
Matter of fact,
So lots of dairy?
No,
question,
actually,
yeah.
not. I have something better than a moo cow. I think I have an answer for it.
Hold on to your butt.
All right, I think I'm the last one here. So, JD, if you could have done one thing different to promote this match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar to end this show, what would you have done with those two guys in the ring tonight?
I would have had. Oh, that's tough. I mean, we've heard the promos from both of those guys, both on and off TV. I think they would have. I think it would have made more sense, however, to like do. I don't know. Like, I mean, I would just say, like, sort of like. Well, this is really tough. I mean, we've heard the promos. So, I mean, I would do like a pipe bomb type promo, something off script, you know, something that has not been said. I mean, we've heard Heyman talk about Roman's family in the past, and we would have done something like Brock could have said something about Brock's family or something like that and brought more light to it. But I think more pipe bomb type promos, however, between the two, because we've seen that at times, however, from both of those guys. One of those guys tells it like it is, and some of them doesn't tell like it is. But let me ask you guys this, though. Do you think you're going to see maybe Seth Rollins cash in and maybe be the new champion if somehow Brock wins on Sunday? And do you think Brock will resign with WWE?
Oh boy, JD, that's a whole lot more than we have time for. We have 4 minutes left on the show, but I can tell you we will definitely talk more about that on on Smack Talk this week when we're doing our WrestleMania predictions. Quick answer for me.
What time you got,
we don't do that.
What day you guys into Smack
That's
Talk?
not live. That's posted on smarkoutmoment.com on Thursday mornings. Usually is the time you can find it there. I don't know. Actually, I don't know when we're recording this week, but yeah, just pay attention to smarkoutmoment.com. Same place you can find this show archived. Really, really good show, Smack Talk. It's all of us same guys. We don't do it live, so it's a little bit more controlled. It's a good show to go and enjoy. JD, I'm sorry, we gotta move out of here because we gotta do our closing plugs and stuff like that. We always appreciate your call. How are you watching WrestleMania this weekend?
I'm going to be with some friends at their house. I think we're doing pizza and hoagies and wings, and we usually have a little party going on.
You're going to do Hulk hoagies?
Yeah, we're going to do like steak hoagies and chicken wings and pizza and pop and beer and good stuff.
All right, you have fun with that, JD. We'll talk to you on the other end.
All right, guys.
And everybody remember, next week, JD versus JD happening live here in the Raw Post Show on Mega Powers Radio. We only got about 3 minutes left here. Shit, I wanted to do a Raw quick draw. I don't think we're going to have enough time. So let's just do a quick good, bad, and ugly. This is the good, bad, and the ugly. When we talk about our favorite part, least favorite part, and the worst part. We only got about 2.5 minutes, so let's do this fast. Tony, your good, bad, and ugly.
Good thing, other than what I had mentioned before, is Axelmania. The bad is the fact that Bill Simmons needs to tell WWE what to do with the bunny, and the ugly is the end of the night.
Wago, good, bad, ugly.
Okay, so for my good, I'm giving it to the Damien Sandow and the Miz build, which is sad. I'm giving the bad to the treatment of Daniel Bryan, and I give the ugly to Snoop Dogg's arms.
Oof. All right, Shaun, wrap out you guys. I do mine.
Good. Divas. Bad. The whole build up to Mania. The ugly. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns arguing over the title like a bunch of 3-year-olds.
Absolutely. I think I might be doing something for the first time here. I'm going to give the good and the bad to the same people. The good I'm going to give to the Tysonn Kidd Natalya Burger King promo. Seriously, that it made me feel like a kid again with how fun and just enjoyable that was. There was nothing that like took itself too seriously. It was good. The bad I'm going to give to the interspecies match because that was just fucking stupid, and for it to end with poor Natalya getting rolled up by that stupid little bull. So dumb. And the ugly I'm going to give to the ending. I don't think there's anything else we can give it to. What a sad ending for a Raw. Not helping WrestleMania's case at all of being a lame build. WWE, you better deliver on Sunday. That's all I got to say. Stay tuned for our full WrestleMania predictions that we're going to be doing on Smack Talk, which will be on smarkoutmoment.com if you've heard us say it enough yet. That'll be on there. Stay tuned to all the other projects we got between us all here. Shaun does some Let's Plays on YouTube. What do you call it? Happy Pope Gaming Productions. Wago Rants is another show to check out. Fanboys Anonymous. Keeping Kayfabe. All the other fine programming here on Mega Powers Radio, like the Dace Man Show. Stay tuned for it all. There's lots of cool stuff going on, folks. We got to sign out of here. You enjoy WrestleMania this weekend, and we will see you on the other side. For Drew White, for Shaun Walker, for Steven Wago, and for Tony Mango, my name is Mike Paden, and we'll see you after WrestleMania.